YUSSI. 6 episodes uploaded so far, and we're now on episode 7 already. Shoo. Time flies when you're having fun, right? And that's the word I would describe the experience of these Yussus pods. Fun. Over the past 2.5 months, I've had the privilege to record, edit, create and upload these very unique and dynamic stories of South Africans living around the world. And each episode has been as playful and as fun as the next. Yet the 6 stories heard so far are all different with their own special ingredient of South African schmark. And if you consider that these are just 6 stories of millions of stories South Africans carry, it becomes pretty clear how diverse and complex the South African culture is. We really are a nation of so many different cultures, very curiously intertwined into the colourful rainbow nation. This excites me to continue listening to South African stories, both in SA and abroad, not only because it makes me feel good to offer people space to share their experiences, but also because having left South Africa myself, I am filled with comfort and ease when chatting to a fellow South African. So let's get into the 7th story as we chat to a compassionate, canny and caring South African woman born on the shores of Cape Town. She spent most of her life taking care of and teaching children with learning disabilities, offering them the confidence and playfulness that exudes from her heart. She is a daughter, sister, mother, teacher, author, Lammetjie and Friend, and she has a passion for living life from her heart. So following its guidance, she found anchor in the Netherlands, where she has been living for the past 3 years with her Dutch boyfriend. She is funny, chilled, and super cool company to be around. Sy vloek soos 'n matroos, and she calls it like it is. She is Nathalie Europa. So we've got Nathalie Europa here.
That's the one.
That's the one, with an awesome vibe. So welcome to the podcast, and thank you for taking time.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
That's an absolute pleasure. Okay, so let's start off with the basics, like where you're born.
Yes, I'm from Cape Town. Ek is 'n regte Kaapse meisie. Born in Cape Town. I lived in the southern suburbs. So Retreat, that area is where I lived, where I grew up with my family. I'm the youngest of, I've got 5 older siblings. And with being the youngest comes a lot of, I think, leeway, you would call it.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit of a character, even in my family. And the way, we just met. I like to chat. I like people. I like meeting people. And that was it. For me, growing up in Cape Town, I love the beach. I love being close to the ocean.
And Cape Town's got a magnificent ocean.
Exactly.
The 2 oceans.
Exactly. And also my absolute favorite place was Dalebrook and Fishhook Beach. So I really, really, really miss that.
Yeah.
But I love Cape Town. Look, we'll probably get into it later, but I didn't leave leave South Africa for any other reason that, as the Dutch people say, ek ben nie gekomen voor de liefde. So that was my main reason for coming. But I'm a real South African. I think I'm a real Capetonian by heart.
Oh, totally. When I heard your accent, I was just like, speak more, speak more. I need to hear that, fill my ears.
Yes.
And it's so crazy because, as soon as I saw you, I could just totally recognize that color. Yeah. That colorful schmark, that openness, that firecracker, actually. We're I think, a little bit too much to handle sometimes as South Africans with our energy.
Yes. I think Dutch people are a lot more reserved. I think, for lack of a better word. So even at work yesterday, a colleague commented and he said, I just love that smile. I've always got this big smile on my face. And I'm thinking, yeah, you know.
How else am I supposed to be, isn't it?
Exactly.
I've also hit with the same response, and it's funny because that's one of the questions I actually wanted to ask you was, what is the response that you get from Dutch people when you're out socializing or in a work environment or even just in the shops, just from the way that you are and you speak? How do they catch you? Do they like, you know, for example, for me, it's always this case of I always see the eyes widen.
No.
Like their eyes are like,
really?
It's not big,
Yeah.
but it's more like just this, wow, like the guy said to you yesterday, the colleague of yours.
Yeah.
I just love the way that you walk around with this positivity and this smile and this enthusiasm for life.
But that has always been, I think I've gone through life smiling and laughing. Like I said to you, I think being the youngest in my family also contributed to that. I was the performer. My older sister, used to pay me, and I would do little cabaret shows for her. So, yeah.
I love that.
True
So
story.
bloody bored in your childhood. No
True
TVs
story.
and internet.
I used to sit on the bed, and then I used to do a whole cabaret thing. I was Liza Minnelli. I did all those things.
Amazing.
So also, and joking and telling stories. When I was working in Cape Town, my one colleague, whenever we met somebody new, then she says, Nat, tell them that joke. I'm like, what joke? You know that one? And then I say, well, if you know the joke, why don't you tell the joke? No. You tell it better.
Yes.
And or she would tell, like, when I tell a really bad jokes, you know, the below the belt types, and then she would tell her parents, and then she would say, Nats told me that joke, so that they know it didn't come from her. But,
It's okay if it comes from you.
Yeah, it's okay if I said it. I like to laugh. Obviously, there are serious moments in life. I don't walk around laughing all the time, but I try to take the most out of a day. Be joyful. You know.
When did you leave? When did you leave South Africa? What year?
I've only been here since May last year.
No way.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes, I'm
That's
here
amazing.
now it's 15 months.
Yeah.
But let me first tell you, my story goes back a little bit further. I came here as an au pair.
Okay.
So I lived here in 1993, which was a long time ago. So I worked as an au pair in Bussum. I looked after 2 kids. And my partner, I came here because I told you for the liefde. I met him then. I met him as an au pair.
Oh, wow.
But we were just good friends.
Yes.
And he phoned to the house because he was friends with the previous au pair. And he knew her and her boyfriend, and, you know, they were a whole clique together. You used to go out together. And he called there, and he asked to speak to her, and her name is Patty. And I said, I'm sorry, Patty left 2 weeks ago. And then he said, who are you? And I said, I'm Nathalie. And we started chatting, and we became really good friends. And then I had a boyfriend, and we kind of lost contact, me and him. And when I went back to South Africa, he used to write, the occasional letter.
Wow, back in those days
when
you wrote letters.
When you wrote letters. And I hope that the postman would deliver it. So he used to write. And then we lost contact. We totally lost contact. And he looked for me in 2015. He looked for me on Facebook. And with my surname Europa, I was quite easy to find. But I had looked for him years before, just as, catching up on friends. When Facebook became the thing, you look for people. And unfortunately for me, he's got the most common surname, so I could never find him.
What's his surname?
De Vries.
De Vries.
Yeah, De Vries in
I just think of Casper De Vries, sorry.
But anyway, yeah, it's really common. So I had looked for him years ago, and I just never found him.
Okay.
But he found me in 2015, and I had deleted the Messenger app.
Okay.
So back then, in 2015, I had a really slecht phone. And I was telling my nephew, every time I take a picture, my phone says you have insufficient memory. So my nephew advised me, he said, delete all the apps you're not using. And I deleted Facebook Messenger because I thought, all my friends I have on WhatsApp.
Yeah, true.
And he had sent a message on Facebook Messenger, and I only found the message a year later.
Oh,
so
wow.
I found the message in 2016. And exactly, I messaged him back, and then we just became friends again. So my history with the Netherlands, it started in 1993. I really, really loved it here. I stayed for the full year and went back to South Africa. And I came back in 2022.
So it started a conversation between the two of you in 2016, and you carried on doing stuff in South Africa. What were you doing in South Africa? What was your...
I'm a teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, I was I started off teaching in the primary school in that sector, and then in 2019, 2009. Oh, God. 2000.
Get it right, girl, get it right.
2009. The primary school I was working at, the numbers had dropped. I was at a predominantly Afrikaans, medium Afrikaans school. And a lot of parents were then sending their children to English, where they could be in an English-speaking school. So our numbers had kind of declined. And when I got there, I thought, this is also odd. Why would the school be only Afrikaans?
Yeah, exactly.
Where most people are raising their kids English. Anyway, the numbers dropped, and then in 2009, the education department asked if they could turn the school into a school of skills.
Okay.
Which was then very needed. A lot of kids were dropping out, grade 12, not even going to high school. So when they did that, they asked who of the staff wanted to stay, and of course some left. 3 of us stayed, myself, 2 other colleagues, and the school principal.
Okay.
So in total 4 stayed from the original primary school. And then it became a school of skills, and I stayed.
Okay.
I really, really enjoyed it. The age group was then different from 14 to 18. And the children had learning difficulties, barriers.
Oh, wonderful. That's not wonderful, but wonderful to get the opportunity to work with kids like that, to give them opportunities and not just slam them down and say, sorry.
Precies.
Yeah.
So what had then initially happened was that if a kid couldn't read or write properly, he would get through school, the way the system works, you can only fail once in a phase. So the child would get to grade 7 and be written into high school, can't read and write.
Oh.
And then, of course, first term, they drop out.
Yeah.
So we became really very needed.
Yeah. Is this in Kalk Bay?
No. Also in Retreat.
Okay.
I lived quite close to where I worked. So I did that.
Sorry, but where's Retreat then? I've never heard of Retreats, and I know Kalk Bay because I've been to Cape Town a lot.
Kalk Bay and Muizenberg, 5 minutes away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I went
on
to
the way
beach,
to Fishhook.
No, on the way back. So if you're going Retreat, Crossy Park.
Okay, all right. Yes, I know those areas well.
But for me, driving to the beach was in my car 10 minutes. I was at Muizenberg.
Muizenberg was one of our childhood memories,
so
just because the water
very,
was
very
warmer
close.
than Clifton side.
Exactly. So that is very, very close. That's the area.
Okay.
So we became, I think, really needed. I really enjoyed it. So the kids did academic schoolwork, the normal curriculum, normal subjects, but on a lower level.
Okay, nice.
So it was an adapted curriculum. And then they also did skills. So they learned woodwork, welding, hairdressing, those types of things. And these kids that struggled to read and write, they were absolutely phenomenal in those subjects.
Yeah.
And also you had to get their confidence up, because now you came from a school where everybody told you, you can't read, go away, or whatever. Okay, not that they were told that, but they felt that, they couldn't.
Yeah, kids know it. They can feel it with their peers, and the teachers also.
A lot of them, when they came to the school, they were like, I'm here because I'm stupid. I was like, hang on, wait a minute. You're not stupid. You learn differently. And when they started doing their skills and they could see how good they were, then you could actually see how that child developed.
Oh, what a reward for you in a job and a purpose in life, hey?
Yeah, I think so.
So you did that for a couple of years, 2016 till 2022?
No, 2009. Till I left in 2021.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were there over the lockdown periods and all of that chaos and that craziness, and then you decided, you know what? Do you have kids?
I have one daughter.
Awesome.
I have a 22, very beautiful daughter, 22-year-old daughter. She's a yoga instructor.
Oh, nice.
And a total hippie.
I love her already. I'm in that vibe. Yes. I'm in that vibe.
Yes, she's so cool. Yeah.
Nice. So, and she's still living in South Africa?
Yes, she visited me in December. And she said to me, Mommy, you will never see me here in December again. It was so cold.
I know. This is the first year from 2022 to 23 that I stayed in the country, because normally I fly back to South Africa for the summer. But because my sister and my mother had immigrated here, I kind of didn't want to go that side and this side, because I still have one sister in South Africa, but it was it was tricky because I thought, you know what, I've never lived here with this winter.
Yeah.
And I struggled.
Oh.
And I struggled. And I tell you what, even the summer, I think to myself, oh, I needed something hotter.
Yeah.
To get through this next phase.
But it gets super hot here.
I know.
And I remember just before the school holidays, because I'm working at a school, I'm not teaching though, but I'm working at a school. And I said to this one colleague, and just before the holidays, so I said, it's so hot here. And he says, Natalie, come on, stop pretending. You come from Cape Town. It's 45 degrees there. I said, no. Where do you come on that? I said, we'll be lucky with 28.
Yeah, and it's a 4-season, and it's a very dry heat. But and in the summers, it's very dry. But in Durban, it's that humidity. So it's cloudy, but you're
like,
sweating like a bastard. It's really, it's for me such a trick. But what it is I want that dry heat.
Yeah.
And then here in Joburg or in Cape Town, when it's summer, you generally get like a whole period of time that there's just heat.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But here it's almost like today it's hot, tomorrow it's cold.
Going to rain later.
Exactly, and I never know what to change in, and I always land up a day later or that I'm actually dressing thinking, okay, for the next couple of days, and then people are all on the apps, and I'm like, no wonder.
Yeah.
Because it's like that.
I've got the app, I follow the weather. In my bag, you can check right now, I've got my umbrella. That I've learned. I have my umbrella in my bag every day.
My gran used to always tell me, she's born in Belgium but raised in South Africa, and she used to always tell me, carry an umbrella in your bag because you never know.
Yeah.
And I used to think the Dutch people were really nosy because they kept coming to the window to look out, but it's actually because they keep checking the weather because it changes so quick.
Yeah, and then of course the app, the buyer alarm.
Yeah.
So you know when it's happening, and then what I do now is if I have to do something, I check a buyer alarm. Okay, it's going to rain. 2:10.
Can you believe this is your life? Can you believe this is your life?
But then it says it's going to rain for 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
And then I grab my feet and I'm on my feet and I'm gone.
Isn't that so amazing also? So we're going to go back to a few other things. Let's just see, I've covered all the things. We know where you were born.
Yep.
So we know what made you leave South Africa and when you left.
Yep.
And then you said you've got family and friends still there.
Oh, my whole family. My
and we spoke,
absolute whole family in Cape Town.
Do they come and visit, or do you go visit? But it's still too soon, hey?
Well, my daughter came last year. My daughter wanted... The reason why she came in December is because I'm born in December.
Okay.
She wanted to be here on my birthday.
Nice.
And in the Netherlands, I'm born on Sinterklaas, which is a big thing here.
Yeah.
In South Africa is het helemaal niks.
Niks.
But, so my daughter wanted to be here for my birthday. That's why she came in December.
Okay.
And I said to her, are you sure? She says, Mommy, I love winter. It's like, you don't love winter when you're living here.
No.
You can love winter in Cape Town.
Although, you know what, it's lekker at times. There is a benefit to it because I do find that sometimes in Joburg in winter I'm colder than I actually am here.
Yeah.
But that's because inside of the houses in South Africa, generally, there's not double glaze.
No.
So here they do have, when you go in, and even if you go into these shopping centres, there's like heat curtains.
There's a lot of heat, and there's the houses are very well insulated,
Yes.
which in South Africa it's not really needed.
Yeah.
When in Cape Town it wasn't really
But
needed.
it's bliksemse cold when you walk out of the apartment or the building and you come into that.
I also think it's a little bit sickening when you get into a bus and it's super hot.
Oh, yeah.
You feel this warm air blowing, and I'm like, why would the bus be 30 degrees and I have to get out and walk
that
around
constant change of temperature, and then you get sick, and
Then
no, I know
rather
that
just let it be
vibe.
cold.
But it is an adjustment, hey. So for people listening that are in South Africa, when you leave South Africa, there's so many elements that are so subtle that you have to readjust to. So it's not like you just jump onto the side and, hey, it's a lekker life. You really have to, even your body has to adjust to the night and the day.
Yes.
Think about that. I mean,
Yes.
summer nights are up to 11 o'clock at sometimes
still
at the
light.
sun's light.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still up. So it's that whole, also that
And
hibernation
that is weird.
story.
I think that whole thing is so weird when it's 10 o'clock, 10:30, and you look outside and it looks like this. And you're thinking, I need to go to bed. And the mistake I made initially, and I had forgotten about it when I was in au pair, so what I would do is I would stay up thinking it's still light.
Yeah.
So I'd be watching television or sitting outside till 11.
Yeah.
And the next day's work.
Yeah.
And I would get to work and I say, I'm so tired. And they're like, what did you do? I did nothing. It's just I can't get used to the fact that it's light.
Because ultimately our bodies, because we've lived in South Africa for so long, I think are on an automatic clock. So for me, even my appetite changes. So normally in winter, when it goes dark, my appetite gets more because now it's dark, it's time to eat. But in summer, it's like 10 o'clock and I'm still not hungry in a way because it's still light. I mean, then 10 o'clock comes and I'm like, I can't eat anything big. A boiled egg, toast.
It's
at 10
too
o'clock
late to
at
eat.
night. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then also the day, I fill up it so much, do so much more in the day, thinking it's day.
Yeah.
And I have 2 hours between 10 and 12 to wind down, go to sleep, relax, calm, and then wake up again.
I think for me, maybe I've adjusted to it faster because I had lived here before. And then also when I was an au pair, the kids had a little dark curtain.
Oh, yeah.
So we would put them in bed at 8 and put the curtains.
Yeah, my sister had to do that as well because the kids were also wide awake, lying in bed, but Mom, the sun's still up.
Yeah, so I think eventually when I realized, look, you're making a mistake here, staying up late, just go to bed.
Well, look,
close the curtains, mark it like a donker.
Yeah, make it dark and that.
Yeah.
I think also my biological system is still getting used to it because I went from here to Joburg, back here to Joburg. I was always like in and out. So I never really and literally had no winters for many years because I used to time it
Lovely.
in summer.
Lovely.
So when I got to winter last year, I was like, Bliksem, this is
Goat.
why I don't stay here.
It's goat.
Goat.
Yeah.
But so what I wanted to ask you is just to sort of describe if you've had any like pressures or did your ease coming in here for the first 3 months. You know, the first 3 months are always quite a landing, and then life becomes real that you start going in.
Yeah, look, that will also just take you a little bit back into the relationship. So because we knew each other for a long time, myself and my partner, I then decided, because initially I had friends who said, let's go to the Netherlands on holiday, let's go and visit. And I said, well, the South African rand, you don't go to the same country twice. And my friend, you know, she kind of insisted over years. We had traveled together before. And then in 2018, my 2 au pair kids, because they're adults now, they contacted me and they said, Nats, we're coming to Cape Town. They had me on Facebook. We'd like to see you. So they came to see me, well, first one, and then a month later, the other one, they couldn't manage to get their leave days to match.
Mm-hmm.
So one came first, and then the other one came afterwards. And when I saw them, they were just so lovely. And I thought, oh my God, I'd forgotten how much I loved this place. And then I said to my friend, let's go, let's go.
Yeah.
So so we came in 2018, the summer of 2018. I came with 2 colleagues, two friends of mine. We came here just on holiday. And we stayed for 2 weeks. And I then saw my now partner, I saw him then for the first time since 1994. When I had left.
Yes, yeah.
And so I had been back to visit the country in 2018. Then my au pair child, the girl, she said to me she's getting married in 2019. She said, please come to the wedding. And I'm thinking, do these people know what the South African rand is?
Sure.
To the euros.
It's an 11-hour flight direct.
Exactly.
Ting, ting, ting.
And she said to me, please come to my wedding. I said, definitely can't do this. And I have the mom, also I have contact with the mom on WhatsApp. And she also messaged me, said, Nats, please, if you can, please come to the wedding. Please come to the wedding. So this is after we had left in 2018. We came here, we went back, and then this wedding. And I thought, no, there's absolutely no way I can afford. My credit card can't handle this trip. And so, exactly. But then, unfortunately for me, things had kind of shifted a bit. My brother passed away quite suddenly in 2019. My brother passed away quite suddenly.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thanks. And then I thought, you know what? Life's too short, just do this. So I then decided, you know what, just come to this wedding.
Yeah.
But by then I already had an interest in this guy, and I thought, check it out.
Maybe, yeah, maybe it'll be cool.
Check it out a little bit further.
Yeah.
So I was here in 2019. So in 2019 I came for the wedding, which was July 2019.
Thank God in summer.
Yeah, exactly, of course. But I had also been all over the place. I took a bus and I went to Denmark and, did, everything. When we were here in 2018, we took a bus and we went to visit friends in Hamburg. So I had a friend in Denmark. We had been au pairs together in 1993 till 94. So I hadn't seen her since. So I did that as well. So traveling, but I was back. But then this relationship started. But now you're back in South Africa. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You can't travel back and forth every few months.
No, I was doing it for work reasons, so I can get it. If it's on a personal basis,
Exactly.
your pocket is late.
Exactly, that was a problem. But then, like I said, the relationship was kind of starting, but I wasn't exactly sure, holiday romance, is it real or is it a fantasy? So then I decided to come back the same year of 2019. I came back in December.
Okay.
And that was, I said to him, look, previously I was here all over the place. I obviously saw him, but I went to the wedding. I stayed with the family. I went to Denmark, all over. So I came back in December of 2019.
Yeah.
As well. But then I decided, right, let's have a look at this relationship and see, and not be all over the place. Just, kind of see.
Focus now. What to root? Where am I going to root?
Exactly. So I was here in 2018 for, I think, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. So 2019.
So you were kind of slowly putting your toe in each time, and obviously it sounds like the world or universe was coming at you with this push to come here, because it was those couple of things.
I agree.
And I think,
agree.
I didn't realize that you've had grief in your life, which is a common mistake, because I've had grief now in my life. And before I had this grief over the last 2 years, I actually kind of was oblivious to grief. But now that I've experienced it, I kind of realize the more and more I'm going through my day, how many more people are also dealing with grief, because we're all going to die, and everybody we know is going to die. So there is that reality which nobody talks about. But I think having it hit you so quickly.
Yes, but it also changes a lot of how you do things.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, not only was that the grief in 2019, 2020 my mom passed away.
Oh, sorry.
2021 my dad passed away. Oh. You see what I'm saying? So you have that sense of, you know what? Life is short. If you're going to do something, then do it. And I think that was my takeaway from it all, because I was still very much, I'm a teacher, I'm working towards pension. Do I really want to resign my job now? Do I really want to give everything up right now? And then you're thinking, what?
Yeah.
For what?
Time, it gives you the perspective of time. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for being open and sharing. And I know when you say it now, it's like they're words, but I know the pain. In 2020, I lost my dad and my grandmother within 3 weeks.
So
2021, I lost a best friend. She was only 40.
Yeah.
2022, I lost my grandfather and my best friend, who was an ex of mine. And it was just so much of that 5 people going and that pain that it caused has turned me into different channels now completely. Like, you cannot go back.
That's exactly
you cannot go back from
that. That's exactly what I mean. And also what happened is that, like I said to you, the relationship kind of started in 2019. And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
So my mom passed away, fortunately, just before COVID hit. We could see her and visit her when she had a stroke in the end of 2019. Sorry.
No problem.
And so for me, it kind of changed how you look at things and how you view what's important to me. Not what you did before, what's important to everybody else.
No. And before death, you don't realize that. You're just living on some dream, which is fine, because if you haven't experienced it, how can you ever experience it? Now that you know the pain, how can you ever look at anybody that hasn't experienced it and hope that they would understand it? There's no ways until they walk into those shoes, because in each of those deaths, for me at least, there was a different experience.
Yes. Definitely.
Some I was okay with, some I was completely shocked and ripped to the core. Others have only slowly now started to come into my space and understand, this person's not here because it's final.
Yeah.
But that's also part and parcel of what also started driving me this side, was, for me, examples of South Africans that have left here, left South Africa and come here, and all other parts of the world, have also had the elements of crime and the elements of no job and an element of poverty and a better way somewhere else, So for me, it's also death can push you here as well. My mom and my sister decided to immigrate here when my father passed. It was a pre-decision they were all making because of COVID.
Yeah.
Before, it was just me, Ace, out here saying, come this side, it's fun, you can walk at night on your own.
That too. Not
But-
just walk, you can do everything here.
Exactly. But that's why I really want to now do these podcasts, is because I really want, in 2020, I was busy trying to look for a shop here to sell the clothing that is now online.
Yeah.
But it changed in my perspective, because I was like, people don't need another T-shirt. People need to talk. People
Yes.
need to tell their stories. They need to share, because your story is going to inspire other people that are here struggling. Because that's also, you can't just get here and it just shifts into gear.
No.
I'm sure there are days you miss your family.
I
you
miss
your
my family. I
your
miss my daughter.
You miss the country of South Africa, that smell, that hearing of the sights.
But even a simple thing like here, I must do my driver's license over.
Oh, my sister would be here talking to you about this, because she's like, Nar.
I'm so not. I mean, I've been driving for as long as I can remember. And then I came here. Well, if you have a work permit, they just switch it.
Yes, my sister was saying this,
Yes.
and she's like, but I'm Dutch citizen. She's got a Dutch passport, and you married, right? So
No, I'm not married, but everything, if you come on a work, I'm here on a partner's visa.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I've got a residence permit.
Yes. Okay, so that even
if
that you have to...
if you've got a work visa, they switch your license. If you don't,
Yeah. You have to redo it
I
again.
have to redo it. I have
Yeah.
to do theory as well as practical. And that's the one thing I miss. I used to love just getting into my car and
Yeah.
going to the beach or
Yeah.
going to town or, doing whatever. But here, the public transport system is excellent. I love it.
Yeah, me too. I must say, I don't miss my car, even though sometimes I miss that moment of jumping in and
Yeah,
just going. I don't miss the stress of traffic. I don't miss the stress of
No,
people on the road. I love just going to that train and then, oh, I missed it. There's another one 15 minutes later. Oh,
Exactly.
and we jump on that one.
Exactly. Going to work, I take my bicycle sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just, I think also when you're in a car, and also in South Africa, we don't have all these other things on the road.
Yeah.
Like here,
Yeah.
you got your bicycles, your electric,
much more
your electric
confusing.
bicycles, a tram, a bus, all of these things coming at you. So, I'm
And
not
who's got the right of way? That's the big question.
Exactly. And then driving on the wrong side of the road. But, so I'm not very confident on the fit. I do take it to work. Sometimes it's on bicycle, it's 15 minutes from where I live.
When did you start riding a bike?
Oh, my boyfriend bought me a bicycle like I wasn't even here 2 weeks properly, and he bought the fit.
So you never grew up cycling, right?
As a child, I played a little bit. You know, when your friends got a fit, I never owned a fit.
Nor did I.
My friends used to come and teach me to ride the bicycle, and then I did it.
Yeah.
And the minute I could get my driver's license, I forgot about the fit.
But then you also, when you were a kid, we were playing in a park or somewhere away from the road,
Yeah,
so you
not-
were away from the cars. Here, you're driving and there's a big truck next to you, and you're on the little fits, and you're
then
like,
that
oh my God.
electric fits come past you, don't even hear it, you just hear shoo, something
Yes.
goes past you. So I'm still a little bit nervous, and in bad weather, you know how these Dutch people cycle, they got one hand on the bicycle
I
and
can't
one
do
hand
that.
holding
Both
umbrella.
hands on mine.
I can't, exactly.
I can't, because even if I turn, the whole bike turns.
So I'm not that confident, but I do use the bicycle for short distances.
Okay.
And the bus. I love the buses and the trains.
So you're pretty happy here, let's just put it that way. You're also feeling that you've got
I'm very
a
settled.
contentment here.
I'm very settled.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, in the first 3 months, and also because to come back to that question, because I'd lived here before, it wasn't like I was coming here for the first time.
Yeah, true.
So I knew the bus system. I already had a chip card.
Yeah,
I already
okay,
had
yeah,
an OV
yeah,
chip
yeah.
card. That a friend had given me a few years ago. So I still had the chip card, put money on the chip card, and I took the bus. Now I've got a personalized chip card with my picture on it.
Yeah.
So I already knew the system.
Yeah, and you're one person. I think this makes a difference, because my
Yes.
sister came with kids.
Yeah.
And when I came here, my brother came here, it was sort of free. We could do, like, there wasn't a lot of stuff. But when she came here with kids, it was like health insurance.
Yes, there's a lot to
this. She kept getting posts. And I was like, jeez, this
Yes.
is intense. And then it's all in Dutch, and she's trying to figure it out. So that's why I asked the question to people, how have your first 3 months been?
But for
because
me
you've had
also,
history.
it was just me.
Yeah.
And in terms of the paperwork and all of those things, it went really, really quickly.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing about the plus in this place,
Yes,
is
it
that
went
you
really
make an
quickly.
appointment, your appointment's on time, you
Yes.
never wait too long, it's done in a few seconds. There's
Yes.
efficiency in this place that is just
Yeah,
beyond.
Yeah, and that was the one good thing. And when I came, like I said to you, I came last year May. I had a bicycle a few weeks later. I had my...
But you also got a Dutch partner who integrated, I think, a lot of the stuff for you in an easier way than if you were ace out or if you were with a family.
But with all the paperwork and things, he took me, and there was one thing we had to do in Zwolle, and then one thing we had to do in Utrecht.
That's so the residence visa, I think.
Yeah, we got in the car, and he took me. And then within, I think, a few weeks, I got a job. I worked as a volunteer at the M-House, the second-hand shop.
Okay.
Kringloopwinkel.
Kringloop, I like Kringloop.
I couldn't sit at home and do nothing.
No,
I was
for
going
sure.
mad. And then
That's the South African in you.
Yeah. And also, I in teaching in South Africa, it was hectic.
Yeah.
You know, I was busy all the time. I can't believe I'm not busy all the time now. But let's not tell anybody. So I was working at the Kringloopwinkel. And then that was, let's say May, July, we went on holiday. You know, the Dutch people do the summer holiday thing. I get it now.
Yeah, so do I.
After experiencing winter, I now understand.
And I also experienced that with the Dutch person. I've heard and I've seen it myself because I live in the city, so I can see what happens. If it's a sunny day, the city is packed. Everybody's on the terrace and they're all just drinking and soaking it in. And I used to think, how do you just take a day off work? And it was like, no, when the sun shines, you go out.
They go outside.
And when it's raining, you do the other things.
But I said to my partner, I said, listen, I've noticed this thing as well, where everybody rushes outside. And I said, are you people not worried about skin cancer? I mean, I'm dark. I can handle this, but I still use a little bit of sunblock. They sit with their bare head, bare skin, everything out in the sunlight.
Yeah.
Are they not worried? And I said, they're just so happy to see the sun.
That's it. And everywhere in South Africa you go, people are looking for the table under the umbrella. And the solar panels don't work in South Africa, but here they're pumping solar panels, and the sun does not give them the yield that the South African sun would give them. I miss that. I miss the South African nature, landscape, sunsets, weather, people.
I
miss a lot. I don't miss load shedding.
No. I went home in May. 2 weeks. We had 2 weeks school holiday. And load shedding.
Oh my God.
I had actually forgotten. But it's gone to, it's longer now.
Yeah, it's actually getting worse, progressively worse. I still have a lot of ties in South Africa with work and stuff like that. And a lady that works for me, a colleague of mine, she constantly tells me, like, sorry, I can't talk to you now between these hours, it's load shedding, or we can't print this because there's load shedding. And I think, how are people living like that? Like, it's insane. It's insane. Yes. But I also feel like, how can we help? How do we change the situation? You know, because it feels dire every time I switch my light on without the worry.
I said to my sister, what I noticed when I was there is that they've just adapted to it.
Yeah.
They've got all the little modern things and all the little things that you can still use your Wi-Fi, you can still use this. I said, nobody's complaining.
Yeah.
It's just okay, this is part of life.
Well, this is it. I think South Africans have had to adapt to everything. You know, just shut up and fok voort.
Yeah, fok vorentoe.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, sis.
Yeah, I think so.
I think at the end of the day, that's quite a thing we have here and an advantage. Because we come from such turmoil and adversity and struggle,
we can handle anything.
That when the trains don't come for 2 minutes, I see Dutch people getting aggro.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, buddy, at least you got a train.
Relax, man.
Ours will probably be graffitied and dismantled for scrap metals and not running.
Yeah. So some people complain. They say like the bus services, the bus is this, and the bus doesn't show up on time. I'm like,
but again,
I'm not going to complain about
and again,
that.
Nats, how do they not know? This is having a Dutch partner in my life. I also realize it's impossible for him to know where I come from.
Yeah,
it's impossible for him to appreciate the bus the way I do.
Yeah,
because the bus has always been there.
Yes.
He cycled since he was born. He could do and be around.
Cycle since he's born. That is a very, very contentious issue at home because my partner's always saying like, "Why aren't you taking the bicycle? Why are you taking the bus?" I'm like, listen. You were riding that bike since you were 3 years old. Okay, let me catch up.
Yeah,
I'm not that confident and. Yeah, we need to understand we come from total different worlds.
I know, exactly. You know? I agree with you.
And I think also the bicycle thing, there was also the safety aspect.
Yeah.
You know, here you don't have to worry, nobody's going to grab you, nobody's going to grab your bike.
Yeah,
so,
true.
If it's lekker, you know, you can go anywhere. on the bicycle. Although I had colleagues telling me, yeah, some areas are not safe and, still be careful. But that's anywhere in the world.
Of course, that's anywhere in the world. But when they say that to you again, there's that absence of content. They don't understand where we come from.
Yeah.
That the fact that we can still walk around here. And so when I come from the train station and it's late at night, let's say dark at night, I sometimes go a park route when I come back from the train station. But if it's after hours and I can see that there's like a little bit of action in the city, I come the main route. I come through the main city. And I think it's just the South African in me. I don't even think there's a danger if I go onto the nature path.
No.
But somehow I'm just like, you know what, you're a woman
We're
alone.
so very careful.
And I think I would be like that in anywhere in the world.
Yeah,
But South Africa definitely gave me the kracht.
Look, I think a lot of people also speak about crime in South Africa, and a lot of people ask about crime in South Africa. And I also always say there's crime everywhere in the world. Wherever you go, you need to be careful. Just in South Africa, I will always tell people, just be careful where you go. You can't walk around everywhere. You're not. It's not like here. And also know where you're going before you go. Don't be walking around and go ask somebody in the street, sorry, can you tell me how to get here?
There's actually like a 101 list, like no jewelry, no possessions, nothing that you value. Don't walk at these times. Don't go in those. Don't drive in these areas. And
that's
strictly
sad.
me being a bit of a rebellion, I would always say like, you know what, I'm tired of all this. I live in this country. I'm born here. This is my land.
Yeah.
Despite all the history, at the end of the day, in this current times now, who else am I? What else am I? Sorry, I'm just a product of what's happened. I didn't do what politicians did. I was just one of the people living in this place.
Yeah.
And I drive on purpose to the areas I shouldn't.
I don't.
And twice I got hijacked in the same place.
Oh, shit.
But luckily I have a fight response and flight response.
Okay.
So I went to the guy with the gun in my face out of complete panic because I got so scared. It wasn't calculated at all. This was survival. And then put my foot on the accelerator and just drove. And thankfully no one was in front of me. And thankfully he didn't pull a trigger. And then I thought to myself, don't ever go there, Janine. Why? And then I landed up by mistake in the same place 2 years later. And bang, it happened again. And I was like, no! Same response and fled. Now, I'm South African. I can imagine if you're a tourist coming into the country and you don't know.
Exactly.
And you come from somewhere like here.
Yeah.
You can't imagine that.
You can't imagine it. And that is, and also my partner, he was in Cape, he came to visit twice.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for him, in 2020, he was going to visit the beginning, also in June. And then we had the COVID lockdown in 2020. And so he could only come, he only managed to get there in December of that year.
Okay.
And then we had the South African variant, and then he was almost stuck there, but fortunately he managed to get back.
Yeah.
And then 2021 he visited again. Then we also had a bit of a lockdown, and then again he could also only come in December. And then both of us got COVID.
Oh, nice.
So then he had to stay extra 10 days, which was fine. we had fun. It was fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So he has been there twice, and then in December of this year we're going and we're taking his 2 sons as well.
Oh, nice.
And the younger one, he's 19 years old. He was very concerned because he had heard about crime and all of those things. And I said, look, I know where you can go. Okay, I hope that nothing will ever happen.
Yeah.
And I've never, fortunately, been in situations like that with that type of crime.
Yeah, guns to your head.
Yeah,
when I tell that story here, they're like, what movie are you talking about?
Yeah, they can't believe it. It's very, very hard to believe. But I said to him, I will obviously try my best to make sure that you're safe.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
not going to put you in danger in any way.
Of course. I think generally people are safe when they come to South Africa. Otherwise,
I
the tourism would not happen.
Yeah.
But I do believe you get these wanderers. Like I used to run a backpackers, and I used to see a lot of people coming in like backpacking, and I would say to the manager, tell everybody not to walk to the right when they go out, to walk to the left.
Yeah.
And he would tell these people, but they would go with cameras,
that
and they
camera
would
around
walk
the neck
to the
is
right,
like, rob me,
passports, they would have money taken, cameras.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's not calculated. It's poverty.
Yes.
And people are
Opportunity.
looking for the opportunity. So they're looking
opportunistic.
for the sitting duck. They're looking for the unexpected one, the surprise. That's
Yeah.
what they want.
Look, I've got a friend, one of my closest friends, she's from Philadelphia in the States. And she's been to Cape Town, I think, 7 or 8 times. She loves it.
I know, it's
She's
different
been to Johannesburg
experiences.
as well, but she got robbed in Spain a few years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So because I told her, when you're in Cape Town, this is what you do, that's what you do, and that's what you don't do.
Yeah.
And one day this girl took a train from town to me in retreat, and I was like, what? I don't take the train. I said, I told her I'll come fetch you. And she said, no, it's okay. And I heard this little wheelie suitcase. Looked out my kitchen window. Here she comes walking down the street. My nerves was klaar.
That's Clara, I'm telling you, because you know the
But
dangers, but she doesn't.
But she also, because she had been there so many times, she also knew what you can and cannot do.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's something that, people must just know. Don't go and walk around everywhere and that camera around
I think
the
it's
neck.
also
Don't
general
do it.
sense, general sense. If you are a traveler, you get that sense. So
Yes.
wherever you're going, because I've also heard plenty things about other countries around the world. I, in fact, was in London once in the UK, and I actually got scammed with a friend, a group of us that were there searching for stuff for White Trash, that clothing label I was running.
Yeah.
And we got scammed, like we got robbed. But we didn't get robbed by literally our money. We actually got conned
Yeah.
into paying these people. And then when they gave you the boxes, what they had advertised was not in the box, and it was
come on.
wrapped up. And by the time you realized and went back
They
to the
gone.
store, they were closed and gone. And it was like literally within 45 minutes. And I thought, Yussus, at least in South Africa, you got the gun to your head. There's a,
You know you're
there's
being
a-
robbed.
Yeah, there's a real conscious understanding, like, hey, it's you or me.
Yeah.
There you were scammed. You didn't even know. But like you see, even here, there's elements of pickpocketing
Yes,
happening,
yes.
and
When you come
bikes
into-
are getting stolen.
Before, I don't see it anymore. I know when I used to come off the station into Hoogkaterein, into the
Yes.
mall, there was a big board that said, be careful of sucker
Yes,
rollers.
yes. I like that, suck and rollers.
Sucker roller.
I'm like, are
And-
there roller skaters here?
Yeah, that's still at your son. And I thought, try for me, come try.
Yeah, exactly. I also got my plan, like I'm ready. Sometimes a
Mario.
friend will come up to me and sort of like she sees me and I haven't seen her, and I'll be like ready in my karate mode movement because, hey, you came into my space. Because I've got
Exactly.
that still.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also, I wanted to know what frustrates you about this place. Like, are there things that annoy you? Because it runs really well. And there's a lot that we can compare to South Africa that the South Africans listening to this will really be like, probably drooling at the concept of none of these challenges every day.
Yeah.
But there's still differences
Oh, of course.
that are
of
not
course.
like still benefits to South Africa. And you said to me earlier in the email correspondence that the medical treatment you're not so happy with. So
Let me tell you. First of all, I wouldn't say annoyed. It really takes me a long time a really bad thing for me to get annoyed. But there's some things that I find a little bit strange. You know? This paracetamol thing. At first, when I heard about it, I thought people were joking. I mean, really? I went to the doctor. Let me tell you, this is a true story. I went to the doctor. I had a really bad pain in my knee, and I don't know if it was just because I started cycling and, all these flights of stairs.
more movement in your body
More
than you ever
movement
know.
in my knee, with these stairs, with these narrow stairs. I went to the doctor. My knee was so sore. I was practically limping.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to a doctor in Cape Town, the doctor sends you for an X-ray, right?
Yeah, totally.
This doctor told me, if it's really bad at night, you can take 2 paracetamol. I'm thinking, what? I really couldn't believe it. I thought, is she joking? Is she going to say something else after this? And then I realized that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Take 2 paracetamol if you can't sleep at night. Nobody checked what's happening behind the knee. The knee could have been broken for all I know, but
You have to be in a car accident before they'll bring the X-ray machine out.
no, they're going to give you 2 paracetamols first. And then if that hole doesn't close, maybe you'll get, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I get that
really,
because
really
I'm laughing
crazy.
at the paracetamol so much because that's the one
really
thing that my
bad.
mom and my sisters are totally blown away with. And they're
I
like,
couldn't understand it.
what is paracetamol going to do?
No, they really I'm doing it now. My
Are
daughter
you?
messaged me about something and I said, have you taken 2 Panados? I'm sorry, it's
But I think
happened.
Panado is even stronger than a paracetamol, let's be honest.
It's that. But the other thing for me was in South Africa, I think the care that is different.
Yeah,
There's more of a concern.
yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like
It's more clinical.
Did you really come waste my time now with that knee? Did you really come all that way?
It's like this lack of emotion to a degree. Like, hey, suck it up and get on, Tizzy.
Exactly. Anyway, I take paracetamol. I take my paracetamol now for my knee. My knee's not better. It's not as bad as it was. She just said to me, yeah, keep moving and if you can't sleep, take paracetamol. The one horror I had, which was really a horror, was the mammogram. I don't know if I told you about that.
No.
I got a letter. Look, I'm considered to be a citizen of Utrecht.
Yes.
Resident of Utrecht. So now you get all those letters from the GGD.
They love the post here, by the way. If South Africans are listening, the postal systems are completely chalk and cheese. Like, you just don't stop getting post. In South Africa, you get no post, and here you just don't stop getting it.
They sent me a letter for pap smear, breast exam, all those things. I'll come back to the pap smear. The breast exam was here at Hoogkaterrein at the bottom. And I was horrified.
Why?
It was so bad. Even when I saw the machine, I don't know if you've ever had a mammogram.
No.
I did it in Cape Town because my father's family had a history of cancer.
Okay.
So I did it every year.
Yeah.
And I used to go to Constantiaberg. The little equipment thing they had here, I said to this lady, like, don't you have like the other machine, you know, the one that moves around?
And doesn't it also compress it?
No, it compresses, but this was really compressed.
Oh my God.
But then in Cape Town, the one that I had was, they compress and then the thing goes around you.
Okay.
So it takes all sides in a few seconds and it's finished.
Done.
Next. This one, they squish you this way, and then they take the picture, and then they take it off and squish you that way. And like, she stood behind me, and she pushed me forward, and she like squished. It was so painful.
Did you have the same shaped titties when you walked out of there?
I wondered, but it was very, very painful. And I was traumatized.
Sorry.
My boyfriend phoned me on my way home. I was walking on the station to take the bus, and he called at the time. And I just burst into tears.
Oh, shame.
And he said, what? He said, what happened? What happened? And I said, I never thought I could experience so much pain from somebody who's supposed to be taking care of me.
Yeah.
You know, it's a healthcare professional.
And you never felt this pain in the South African Constantia when you had it done?
No. I used to go to, I can't remember what the place was, but I think I had done perhaps mammograms, I think three times already.
Yeah.
And it was nothing like this. I messaged my sisters. I've got a group chat with my sisters, and my eldest sister is always so, considerate. She's like, Nats, maybe it's because you're homesick. You know, there's a lot of things going on. Maybe you're experiencing pain differently. I was like, okay, it's that.
Bless her. That's an amazing way to put a perspective for you.
But now let me tell you, before the mammogram, I had the letter for the pap smear. Uitstrijkje, they call it.
Yeah.
Uitstrijkje. And because I'm 52, uitstrijkje.
What we're gonna scrape you out. That's what it sounds like, an out scraper.
Yeah. So I'd also done it regularly. Like I said, in my father's family, it was cancer. So I used to do it every year as well. I'm 52 now. I think I've also done quite a few.
Of course.
Back home.
Annuals.
So I get to I got my letter. You make an appointment at your doctor, which is the one closest to me. So I get there, and there's the receptionist sitting. Yes, Nathalie, come for uitstrijkje. And she gets up and she says, come with me. So I'm thinking, you're going to show me the way where I need to go? No, baby, no. She did the uitstrijkje.
Hello, can I help you? 1 second, I have to just scrape someone out.
And then I thought,
name on. Yes.
But also, you know, in South Africa, they will say there's a little room, you get changed, put on a little gown, and I'll come back.
Leave the door open when you're ready.
Exactly, I'll come back in a few minutes. She stood there, she said, you can take off the bottom half of your clothing. I'm thinking, are you just going to stand? Anyway, I did it. I got up on the bed. Now I'm
blushing.
I don't know why though, what the difference is if you got a gown on, they're still scratching there. Anyway, now I'm thinking, the doctor's coming in any minute. No, receptionist goes and sits on a chair and takes all the stuff. she didn't.
And then did she charge you when she went out back at the reception table? All in one stop shop.
But then I'm thinking, but this is also a total different thing.
Yeah.
So I go home, and I'm telling my partner, and I'm saying, but in South Africa, it's either your gynecologist, or it's an obstetrician, or it's a combination of the two, or a doctor. I said, I've never seen somebody come from reception.
Yeah.
And then he looks at me and he says, but it's not such a big thing. You don't need a doctor for that. And I said, what do you mean? I said that when I had my pap smears done, they would feel a little bit and also do a breast exam and check everything. He says, what? He said, you were abused. that doctor just wanted to touch your boobs. I said, come on, that is the normal.
Totally normal.
Totally normal.
And I had a female gynecologist in South Africa. She checked my breast. She checked my stomach, around my ovaries. She did the pap smear, and then she still took me in another room, put a condom onto this scanning thing, and went in to check all my ovary sizes and cysts. And
I've had all that done.
That's how they do it in South Africa. So
my
obviously not here.
I think you need to go and just book that pap smear.
I'm going back to South Africa to go back to my gynecologist.
No, you
confirmed it for me,
no,
Nathalie.
You need to experience it. No, I'm serious. For this whole talk to be authentic.
You've given us the authenticity today. Don't throw me in that hole.
Maybe that was just.
You're keen to see if this is someone that just dodge.
No, I'm thinking, is this the way it's normally done?
I pretty much think it is. I'll ask a few Dutch female friends that I have how they do their pap smears here. What do you call it? An
Uitstrijkje.
Uitstrijkje.
I would really, I really want to know if that is just the absolute normal, because I didn't ask anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't ask anybody if this is the norm. I was just a little bit shocked.
When you tell me the story, I know I'm laughing and I'm making it humorous and we're having a good time with it. But when you tell me the story, I can understand it, because think about it. They're giving you 2 paracetamols for any pain.
Every pain.
Because they don't want you getting addicted on any opioids or nothing with codeine, like God forbid. There's codeine. They don't even know what Miprodol or Mibulin is. Like,
no.
People coming back from the country, bring us some Miprodol. We need some stronger painkillers.
Exactly.
And we can handle pain. But the thing is, if they do that with the pap smear and the mammogram, it's just, I think, the way that the Dutch people are. They're not fussed about sexuality. They're not fussed about naked bodies. My sister and I were booked in by my Dutch partner to go to a beautiful spa.
It was called naked sauna.
Spa Serene in Marsen. Thank you so much. Beautiful package. We got like robes and slops, alles, and we were so excited. We come out into the main section where there's pools and saunas. Like this place has got over 50 saunas, all different themed.
Lovely.
Beautiful. But a whole lot of naked bodies. Men, women.
Yes.
Even men with those colossal bag things. We saw one of those. Didn't matter what size these people were. They were just okay with walking around starkers. And my sister and I were like, into the sauna, chuck off the robe, run, sit there. Don't look at anybody in the sauna. Don't make eye contact. You're naked. Come back out.
No, they really don't care. I was invited by a friend to go to the sauna, and I said, I heard about this whole naked thing about going. No, thank you.
No, but we didn't stay naked. We kept our towels on the whole way through and our robes, and only when we did the specific, we jumped it off.
I can handle my own naked body. I don't need to see
It's just also we've
anybody
never
else.
been brought up that way, to be honest with you. And even coming from a country with a volatile crime rate, people have also always taught their children, like, be conscious of showing your body too much. Don't tempt people. Don't put yourselves as a target. These things have been taught.
But listen, when I spoke to my partner about this whole thing, and I said, like, you people, you've got it all wrong. I said, you've got it all wrong. And then he says, what do you mean? We've got good health care and people get really old here. People live to be 90. I said, that's not because of your health care. That's because of good genes.
Yeah.
They're just healthier.
Yeah.
You know?
And maybe less stress, because I believe stress is the number one killer in the world.
Exactly.
So maybe they've got everything sorted for
but
them.
they've got a healthy lifestyle. They're cycling, they're eating their cheese and doing whatever.
And no stress, because they've got good pension plans. They're looked after by their government.
They work
that
part-time.
Stress part takes a lot of...
I had to wrap my mind around the fact that some people work 2 days a week. Some people come in at 2.
Yeah.
That is also a different thing, because in Cape Town you just obviously work full time, and also as a teacher you work full time.
Come home, have dinner, go working
now,
again.
The teachers choose which days they want to work, and they also choose what time they want to leave. So that was also something that makes them happier.
It does. You know, I was just going to say that to you. Even though we look at it and we can say it's not the same as South Africa, in that respect I find it to be beneficial.
Yeah.
And possibly why I was attracted to this place, because I can be the workaholic.
Yeah.
Because in South Africa, you've got nothing else to do but go to a mall, drive somewhere that's in a park where you still have to look out and there's security or car guards. Car guards are my favorite. Like, I don't see car guards here. So often my sister's trying to back up and I'm like, come.
Nog een beetje.
Nog een bikkie. How do you say it in the Cape way? Bitchy.
Yeah, nog een beetje.
Nog een bitchy.
But the other thing, talking about annoyances, this might not be an annoyance. This is something I find really strange. They spray their underarms in public, the women. At first I thought maybe it's a thing that the teenagers do, but they will I saw a lady doing it in the street.
But have you seen a few people doing this?
I've seen a lot of people doing it.
Okay, so it is something you've noticed. I'm going to look out for that now. I haven't noticed it because I'm always on the sly with mine, trying to hide and going psh, psh, with a few. So if I know people around me are fine with it, I'm going to start doing it.
They take it up. They take the whatever spray they've got in their bag and open it like shh.
It's very practical, hey? It's a very practical run place.
I really cannot
No, I must be honest with you. As I said to you, I'm just going to lift my armpits. I'm still going to secretly shove it under the shirt and just be like...
But then I said it to a colleague of mine. I said, hang on. I said to her, I have a question. I said, I'm not sure if it's just a thing with some people, if it's a Dutch thing, what is it? And she said, what? I said, people spray their underarms like in public, like whether they're sitting in front of you when you're busy eating lunch or whatever in the street. And she said, yeah, what's the problem? It's just underarms.
Yeah, but it's not etiquette.
Exactly. And she looked at me, she said, like, why, what? And I said, for me, you would have to go to the bathroom or go somewhere and do it privately.
It's a private thing.
Sort of like, and then they lift that arm up.
Hopefully it's shaved. I'm joking. No diss on those that don't shave their arms. Okay, listen, I want to just get to a few more other things about, like I've written down favorite things about South African cultures and ways. So what is your favorite expression or word?
I told you, vloek soos 'n matroos, so I'm not going to say that.
No, you can.
No, actually...
I love that. Like vloek soos 'n matroos.
Vloek soos 'n matroos. I swear like a sailor. My family will be disgusted. But one word I miss is voetcheck. Voetcheck. You know, that is lost here. I told you the other one that they call the cat is also lost here.
We can say it, puss.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter. It's not a word that people recognize as wrong in the rest of the world except for South Africa.
Exactly. And especially if you're from Cape Town.
And you
but I don't really have...
Your master.
That is a thing. Like I said to you, at work I will say quite a few things under my breath. And I also know people don't necessarily know what it means, but I also know there's a lot of South Africans living here, so I'm a little bit careful.
Yeah, of course.
What I'm going to say.
What you're going to say. Got to make sure it's all Dutch people before you open up the underbreath story.
I had, like I said, I'm working at a school, but I'm not a teacher. So the one day I was in this one class, and I introduced myself because I hadn't, met this group before. And then the one girl said, "Hi, where in South Africa are you from?" And she said, "I'm also from South Africa." And I said, "Hi." I said, "I'm from Cape Town." And she said, "Oh, she's from Pretoria." Mm-hmm. And then another girl in that same class said, "She's from Namibia." She said, wow. "Oh, I'm from Windhoek." And I said, "Oh, wow, I've been to Windhoek. I've got family in Windhoek."
Nice.
So, there's I think South Africans and Africans.
There's a statistic I read the other day that there's 22,000 South Africans living in Utrecht.
Let me
That's
tell
just
you,
Utrecht.
I went to a concert. I don't know if you know the band Folk of Politiekar.
Yes.
I went to Folk of Politiekar. I think I went to them. They were at the Melkweg in Amsterdam. My boyfriend wanted to go, so we went. And I think that, how many did you say South Africans are living here?
22,000.
They were all there.
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
They were all there.
What are your favorite music artists now that we're talking about music artists?
I don't have a favorite. I think I will listen to anything that's...
Do you listen to the Antwoord?
Dutch people love the Antwoord.
I know.
I said, ik vind het
And
helemaal
Germans.
niks. No, the Antwoord is not for me.
And what about artists like Black Coffee and...
Yes. Look, for me, if something is happening or current, like a few years ago, I think my whole family could sing Kurt Darren, Captain Spanny
Oh, nice.
So whatever's happening, there
Yeah.
would be some Brenda Fassie, there would be
Brenda
some of the-
Fassie, I
of the
loved her music.
newer things.
Yeah. Did you know Hip Hop Pansula? Jabba, Hip Hop Pansula?
Yes,
Big
yes,
guy.
yes. And
Beautiful.
then I let the children at school, when they play football, they call, when you kick a ball between somebody's legs, they call it panna. And I see in South Africa, we say shibobo.
Shibobo.
And then I was telling a colleague of mine, and he said shibobo. And I said, yes. I said, there's even a song with Benny McCarthy and TKZ. And he was like, what? And I played it for him. So he was very, very amused. But to me, there's no favorite.
Okay,
nothing
okay.
really comes
There's got to be a
mind.
favorite food.
Enige iets met 'n braai.
Met 'n braai.
Braai
Dop en 'n
vlees.
chop.
Ja, maar vlees. Die mensen weten van vlees hier
Ja,
niet.
ik weet het.
They
Ook weet het.
they will braai courgette, they will braai burgers, they will braai...
They don't really like much of the meat on the bone, like the chops.
No, no.
I love a braai chop.
I like a braai chop and also chicken with
Braai, yeah.
the thigh or the drumstick. So that I miss. I'm going to South Africa. I was home for 2 weeks, but I went solo during the May holidays. And then we're going with my partner and his 2 sons. We're going in December. And I said to my family, I want a braai, a Moerse braai.
Elke nag.
Vlees.
Yeah.
Oral vlees.
Yeah. You must, it is. And it's also like my partner's come to South Africa and also seen how cost effective the meat is for us there. And I
Yes.
think that's also one of the, like, I wouldn't say it though because they have so many farms here, but I think it's also health consciously.
Yes.
They keep it sort of very plain,
lean
like
and-
gehaktballetjes kind of
Yeah,
vibe, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
nothing too
But
much.
I'd also
Bit of beef stick maybe.
Yeah, but I also think in terms of cooking here, it's very plain. You
Yeah.
know, I cook bobotie at home.
Nice.
I make curries. I do all sorts of things that I liked. So I will cook. There's some things that they obviously like. I will cook what
Yeah.
they like, but I'll also cook
With
my
your
own South
flavourings,
African,
yeah,
my own.
yeah.
And when I went home, I bought Robertson Spice.
Lekker man, Robertson spices. That's amazing. I miss
I
these
bought
things.
2 big
Yeah.
containers of Robertson
Because those are
Spice.
the things that are different here, you know,
Yeah.
even going into the ATOSs or crate fights, which is for South Africans that are
Like
listening,
clicks.
like clicks or discam.
Yeah.
But it's not clicks and discam.
No.
Like you
no,
can
no.
get so much more in clicks and discam
Yeah.
and so much
Although I love
different things.
I always loved clicks. There was a time when I used to go to Zumba in Cape Town, and there was a clicks close by. And I used to do it with my sister, and every day she would tell me, Nat, you don't have to go to clicks today. Yes, I
Did
do.
you have a loyalty card?
No, yes,
Did you
I
earn
do.
points?
Yes, too. But I just love clicks. So yeah, I love the great fat.
Yeah. Yeah, listen.
I like that type of
yeah. The
where
smaller,
there's creams
yeah.
and
Yeah.
but I like those things with the shampoos and with my cruise kop.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
always
yeah.
looking for products, and they've actually got great products here.
Yeah. Look, they do have more curling vibes than I've seen in Discam because normally
Yes.
in Discam or in clicks, you don't really get that for the curlies because I think a lot of people in South Africa are straight.
I even found a hairdresser here. I mean, within a few
Yeah.
weeks of being here, and the first time she cut my hair, I said to her, I have to take a picture. I said, Ma, please, you know, your permission. And
Yes,
she said,
yeah.
of course. I said, my family, I need to send this picture to my family. They will not believe that I let a white girl cut my hair. But she knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
She's somewhere here in Utrecht. And I still go to her. I'm happy.
I must say, I haven't gone to the hairdresser because I normally got an Indian guy, a very good guy in South Africa that I use. And I normally when I go on my once a year trips, get the haircuts and done up and everything. And I
Okay.
haven't gone now.
Yeah.
And now my sister keeps saying, come on, I found a South African hairdresser. She'll be all right.
no,
and
no,
it's
no.
not
This one
even
is not
whether
South
it's South African. It doesn't have to be. It's just I don't trust people with my hair. My hair is
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
uncopable until you understand living with it every day.
Yeah.
Most
Look,
times I go,
this-
they cut, they do the thing, and then I walk home, and it's all great in theory,
Yeah.
and then it doesn't work
Okay.
because the hair does not
I'm-
structure that way.
I'm
So
very,
courage
very
to
happy.
you.
I'm very happy. And also this natural thing I did only 2 years ago.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I used to do the chemically straightened hair, all
yeah.
those things. And so I just kind of switched a few years
I
ago.
love your hair. To be honest with you, I love it.
Thank
It's
you.
just free. It's flowing. It's different. It's unique.
And I do all sorts of different things
Yeah,
to it.
and
And at
it's-
school, the kids will always tell me, Nathalie, heb je andere kapsel? Ik zeg, nee, hetzelfde kapsel. Ik heb alleen een bandje aan. En they, yeah, that is a newer kapsel. So I
Okay.
will put pins,
You
clip
play
it
around
up
with
or
it.
play
Yeah,
around with
yeah,
it. And
nice.
they love it. They're very amused. I'm
Nice,
amused
nice.
too.
I'm so amazed. That's so magic. Let's see what else. So, what is a favorite memory, tradition, or experience for you in South Africa?
I think for me, South Africa, my favorite things is definitely just being with my family. The one big difference here and there is with my family. I think I saw my family every weekend.
Yeah.
When my parents were alive, definitely every weekend. And then I've got 3 sisters still in South Africa. You're at somebody's house.
Yeah.
You're either there Saturday or you're there Sunday for lunch.
Or even
But
sometimes during the week after
during the
work,
week.
popping in,
it's
popping
altijd de
out.
afspraak. You have to make an appointment to
Yeah.
see somebody, and sometimes you have to make an appointment
Months in advance.
Exactly, 2 or
Because
3
their
months in
agenda's
advance.
full. Yeah. There's no
So-
spontaneity like in South Africa. There is a bit more.
It's just people have it. They've just got so many things that they're doing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So you will never find somebody knocking on your door, and then it's somebody you know.
But
If
also
somebody's
don't-
knocking on your door, it's a delivery.
Yeah, true. And
Yeah.
there's so many of those here
People
too.
make an appointment,
Yeah.
whereas I miss that. you know.
Afspraak is afspraak. And
Yeah.
don't dare cancel that appointment because
No,
they feel it a disrespect.
But that I miss because I would jump in my car, go to any one of my sisters, visit people. Well, obviously I will call. I mean, I lived here. I lived here as an au pair. I knew that thing, and people also knew that about me.
Yeah.
Don't just drop by. At
Yeah.
least call.
Yes.
But you're more available.
Yeah.
People are more available. My sister won't tell me, okay, I can see you in 3 months.
No,
that's not going to happen.
But
So
I also
that
think
I miss.
family vibes here are a bit different than they are in South Africa. I think South Africa's got more of a family orientated
Yeah.
culture to it. So
Yeah.
people are also going to each other's houses for braais.
Yes.
Someone's got a
Yes.
swimming pool.
Yes.
Someone's got a backyard.
Yeah.
That's
And
big
also
enough
we
for
do,
us to
we,
sit
we do
outside
we do
in.
parties, we do birthday parties better.
Yeah, and more. I mean, their birthday parties. Yeah, my sister's so much into the birthday parties for her kids, and it's kind of fizzled because she could find no excitement from the shops that she wanted to do these things with. Where in South Africa, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge, but not huge money-wise. It's just huge as in celebration-wise. Like,
But also in terms of what you do on your birthday. Like here you would go, somebody will invite you, and then they will have one cake and some crackers.
yeah,
And then an hour later it's done. I think South Africans like to entertain.
yeah.
So in terms of food and drinks and blah, blah, blah. And with my family, with my brothers-in-law, you must eat. You
Yes.
can't say you're not hungry. You can't
Yes.
say I already ate. No. You're going to eat again. You
Yeah.
know, and you're going to have it up.
Oh, exactly. A dop and a chop.
Precies.
And then also wanted to ask you on that level then, are you ever thinking you'll move back to South Africa, or do you feel like you kind of past that stage and here's a good place for you to settle because of the advantages, not only being able to live in this run country, but also in the availability to get around the world. Think about it. You came here just for
Yes,
a visit in
that was something that
2018
I
and you
also-
saw Hamburg, you know,
Yeah. I like the fact that I can move around. I like the fact that, for the summer holidays now, we went to the UK. We took the car on a ferry and we were
Yeah,
in
nice.
England.
See,
you know.
exactly.
2 hours later.
2 hours later, you're in Harrismith or Colesberg. Not even Colesberg.
Yeah,
Earlier, Bloemfontein or what? Welcome. I'm not sure.
Well, from Cape Town, you're still in the Western Cape.
Well,
you know.
listen. But also, if you think about it, it takes 13 hours to drive from Cape Town to Joburg. It's a 13-hour drive from Netherlands to Spain.
Exactly.
And then you're in a completely different culture and
Exactly.
world. And in South Africa, you're still in the same country. A little bit of an accent different people looking, you know, but
Yeah.
still, you're in South Africa.
Yeah, last
So-
year for summer holidays we drove to Italy.
Oh, wow.
And now we took the car on a ferry and went to the south of England. That I like. But I think for me, about living here permanently or moving back, look, I didn't leave South Africa for any other reason. I didn't run away from South Africa.
Yeah.
You know, I came here because I wanted to be in this relationship. I wanted to give it a fair chance. We were, since 2019, it was a telephone, video calls every night, and me visiting here and him visiting there. It becomes quite expensive. To give the relationship a fair chance, that was my only reason for coming.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so to me, it's still very much the relationship. If the relationship ended tomorrow, I would go back to Cape Town.
Yeah, okay.
You know, that is my home. When people ask me about South Africa, I will refer to it as home.
Yeah, yeah.
It is home. When I went in May, I said I'm going home. In December, I'm going home. So I haven't really looked my...
Yeah, but you've also got your daughter there, which is interesting, because if your daughter had to move here...
I don't think she would, but also my daughter, look, I'm 52 years old, my daughter's 22, she's very independent. At the age of 19, almost 20, she moved to Johannesburg for a year.
Wow.
You know, so we don't have that dependence on each other.
Yeah.
We speak almost every day, we video call each other, but South Africa is where I still find myself very much at home. I love it here, but I think I love it here because of my relationship.
Yes, and because of the lifestyle. I'm going to keep saying that about the lifestyle. For me, it's really to understand that the lifestyle here is good.
I like the safety. I like all those things.
Yes.
But if I didn't have the relationship, I don't think I would be here.
Yeah, I get you.
You know?
I get you.
Like I said to you, my visa is 5 years. I haven't decided what happens after 5 years.
Nice. So you're living on the go and the flow of life and seeing how
I'll see how it goes. I did my eerste inburgering examen in Pretoria. So before I could come here, I did my inburgering examen. So I went to Pretoria and did my exams for this visa that I have now. In 5 years' time, if I want to stay, I must do tweede inburgering. Then it becomes a little bit more complicated. Then I need to, the test then is different.
What is the tests about?
The inburgering examen was, they test you on 3 things. That was before I came here. They test you on kennis van Nederlandse samenleving. So you just need to know a little bit about, they will ask you things about the king or, you know, things like that. And then they do your reading and your speaking.
Okay.
So in Pretoria, I did it at the Dutch embassy.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So I've had people telling me that second one, the tweede inburgering, is not difficult, but then they will ask you more questions relating to politics or tax or I don't know.
Okay.
But then you need to know a little bit more so that you actually do fit in.
Okay, yeah, so that you integrate in.
Integrated.
Yeah, okay.
So I haven't, like I said, I haven't thought that far ahead. I'm here only 15 months now.
I love it. I love the courage you've got to take it at 52. Come out here, start a new chapter.
It's very frightening though.
I'm sure. That's why I'm asking you the questions, you know, because it wasn't just like a 1, 2, 3. Although you had the love interest, there was still a lot of factors to consider. A lot of things you've left behind.
Factors. For example, I was a teacher for 30 years.
Yeah.
And I always thought that is what I would do. I thought I would always do it, and I thought I would do it till the age of retirement. Like I said, things changed in my life with regards to grief and learning how to cope with the loss of loved ones. But it also, for me, put into perspective what is important to me. Mm-hmm. When my daughter went to Johannesburg, and I always tell her she left me like bear shit in the forest, she went on with her life. And there I was home, because I had been divorced for a number of years. She left me at home with her dog. And that was it. Yeah. So at some point you have to think, what do I need to do to make myself happy? What do I want to do? I can be lonely, or I can decide to try this out and see. It was easier for me to move than what it would have been for him to come to South Africa.
Yeah, of course. Too,
and also because I had lived here before, I really, really love this country. I really love being here. For my birthday, my partner gave me a museum jaarkaart. Within 1 month, I think I went to 4 museums. He couldn't believe it. Yeah. So I like that whole cultural thing. I can go to museums. I can walk around. I come to the city often. It's 20 minutes by bus. I'll walk around here on the Oude Gracht and just come and have coffee or do things. I do it all solo.
But that's the nice thing about being here. When I talk about lifestyle, it's not so much what people are doing. It's the fact that you can actually do these things on your own.
Yes.
You don't need to have somebody
Yes,
holding your
yes,
hand. And in
yes.
South Africa, somehow, it feels strange if you see a person sitting at a table on their own at a restaurant or a cafe.
But funnily enough, I always did the solo thing.
Okay.
I think from a very, very young age, I remember as a teenager, my dad used to drop me at the beach and then I'll tell him, come and fetch me after work.
Oh, but the beach. Don't you miss the beach?
Yes,
oh, my
of
God.
course. Tailbrook.
I mean, you're born by the beach.
Yes.
We used to go to the beach always because my dad ran the two oceans and he ran the Comrades. So we would, in the middle of the year, would be in Cape Town, and then just around Easter time, hot cross buns and all.
Yeah.
And then in May, I think it was, May, June, it was the Comrades. We go to Durban.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the year, maybe we'd choose Cape Town or Durban again because my parents didn't really have a lot of money. We didn't fly. My first flight I ever took, I was 18.
Yeah.
To Durban. And they put me first class. I was like, wow, it's like an hour flight, but thanks anyway.
So cool. But yeah, like I say, in terms of if I will stay or if I will go, I'm not really sure right now.
Okay, but that's nice to know anyway. There's no choice. I mean, no point in making a choice now, especially when you've got 5 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
yeah.
good to just see where the wind takes you, right?
Yes. I think for me as well, being older, it was really, really a tough decision. And then also I've got a very, very close relationship with my family. So it's not just my daughter, it's my sisters as well. And there's nephews and nieces and, all the rest.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
I also said to you, we hung out a lot. So that is for me very different. But yeah, because I can do things solo and I liked doing things solo before.
It's an
I don't
easy
mind.
adjustment.
I get on the train and I will go.
Yeah,
I
done
mean,
the
even
same.
A few years ago, I got on a bus and I went to Denmark.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in the bus thinking, you're Nat, you're very far from home now.
Yeah, very brave. But still, you know that you're ultimately safe.
Yeah.
I've also done the solo thing and run around to all the different places in Holland and then explored out a little bit to Paris and to
Yes.
to
Look,
Berlin and Hamburg.
I must still, because I then started working, like I said to you, I worked at the Kringloopwinkel. And then in August last year, I got a job and I'm still there. My contract was renewed.
Nice.
So to me, it's, I must still explore and I've still got a lot of things to do and travel. And you asked me earlier on if anybody has visited. Not yet.
Okay.
So far only my daughter has come, but people have promised. My family have all
It's
promised.
just so horribly expensive for people. This is what I find so hard to
One
to
good thing here
grasp.
also is the exchange rate,
Yeah,
especially
of
if you're
course,
earning
of
euros.
course. But if you're coming from South Africa, it's a hell of a lot
Yeah.
of money you got to save
Yeah, yeah.
to be able to make the trip over here.
Yeah.
And then everything spending-wise. When you go from here back there and you've made the euros, sure, it's great.
Yeah, yeah.
But I still find that so hard because, like, I would be back a lot more to South Africa if it wasn't so expensive to fly.
It's very expensive. When I went home at first I thought the school holidays in May because it's different for each school. I didn't know that it was a 3-week holiday. I thought it was 2, and I thought I'm not going to go home for 2 weeks, and it will actually be less than 2 weeks if you count in the traveling time.
Yeah, true.
Then I found out at the school I'm at, they do 3 weeks. For that May holiday. So I then decided to go home. I surprised my family. I told nobody.
Nice. Awesome.
And it was the best surprise. It was the best thing ever. They were so shocked. Really, I got them good.
Oh, that's so amazing. I actually can
got
feel
them
the
so
love and I can
good. It
feel
was-
the happiness and surprise in everybody.
It was so good. They were like, first, what happened? What's wrong? Why are you here? What happened? Did anything? I was like, no, I came home. I came to visit, I said, I came to fetch my hugs and my kisses.
Nice. Oh, that's so amazing. That's so good to do. That's really nice. And I think ultimately, as people get to see that you're here a little longer, maybe they get inspired to save up some money more and come over. And the fact that they can possibly stay by you can also help.
Yes, of
Then
course.
it's also, it takes away the accommodation because that can also be frightening to see how much it costs Airbnb and all of these other places.
No, definitely. And I mean, when my daughter was here, I think she stayed 3 weeks as well. And unfortunately for her, though, here it's different. You work till the 24th of December. You don't have South Africa school holidays.
Yeah. But then here they have the 6 weeks now.
Yes.
So
but unfortunately for her, she came in December. So what I did was I said to her, okay, make sure that when I get home from work that you're ready.
Yeah, and then you go do
So
things.
then we go. went to Rotterdam, Amsterdam, you know, all over the place when she was here. And then when we got leave, myself and my partner both worked till the 24th of December. Then we took the car and we drove to Belgium with her one day and drove a little bit into Germany with her the other day. So, you know, that was so super, super cool.
No, that's awesome. And I think she'll be back for sure. She'll be back in a summer period.
She said she'll be back, but she said she'll be back when it's warmer. Because, I'm telling you, when it starts getting dark at 4:30 in the afternoon.
That's terrible, hey? Because then I just want to eat because then it's dark and then it feels like my day is so short. And the night's so long.
Already. Did you notice?
I did, sadly. Because I do enjoy the summer nights when they're still 10 o'clock and the sun's still up. It's kind of really...
Just watch me put that bicycle away and not look at it for another few months.
It's true, hey? I've got a couple of, 2 questions in fact left.
Yes.
I want to know, do you have any messages for the South Africans back home? For your family, your friends, for people just listening to this? Any kind of message for them?
My message would always be I love my family, I love my friends, and I love being in Cape Town. And like I say, I love South Africa. I'm a true, echte South Afrikaner. And then,
Ek ook.
Yeah, I really, I think, like I said, if it wasn't for this relationship, then
you'd still be there.
I'd still be in South Africa. I think for anybody who still wants to come to the Netherlands, whether it is to travel, to see, to stay, I mean, check it out. To study. Yeah, check it out.
Yeah.
You know, I think anybody coming here would love it. The one thing though, don't make the mistake of thinking that Afrikaans helps you speak Dutch.
No. It helps you understand Dutch. But it actually hinders you from speaking Dutch because I'm constantly booming it.
Yes.
Ouder, not ouder.
Yeah.
Oudergracht, oudergracht.
Yeah.
And people are just looking at me like, what are you saying?
Yeah, look, for me, like I said, he started speaking to me only in Dutch since 2019. So I'm hearing Dutch all the time.
It is a time period of getting to used to it.
What I have noticed is that, look, Afrikaans is my second language. I think if Afrikaans is your first language, then Afrikaans doesn't help you with Dutch. It helps you with understanding. But speaking Dutch is really, 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 really hard. I'm finding it really hard. Although, because I've been here before, it's not as hard as it is for somebody coming here new.
No.
But also the advantage is everybody speaks English.
Yeah. That is the advantage, that everybody does speak English, because I've been to other countries like Spain and Paris and it's been very difficult to communicate. So here I felt more welcomed and I was able to speak English. I've also been listening a lot to it, so it's been feeding into my brain. I did a couple of courses, like I think grade 1 I've successfully managed to pass. But I also find that it's totally different in the way that they structure their sentences that gets you. And the way that you have to move your mouth.
Yes. And also because
it's tongue twisters.
But Afrikaans was my second language and I spoke it in a lazy way. I didn't really put a lot of effort into it. Yeah. So, and also that whole Cape thing I've got going in my lingo as well. For example, I will say 2 uur, whereas it's 2 uur. Yeah.
You know?
So, like you say,
you have to change the way that your mouth moves.
Your mouth moves, and don't just assume that.
And then you've got to say the sentence andersom, like the other way around to how you would say it in English. I'm seeing it in my English writing now. Yeah. It's almost like I'm starting to write in the sentence structure of the way the Dutch would say it. And then it makes no sense in English. I have to switch it around.
But Afrikaans is also very simple. Yeah. In Afrikaans you say, ek is, jy is, ons is,
hulle is,
this
ben, zijn. And
they were like, ek ben, jy ben, wij zijn. That's a total different thing.
Hy is, sy is, zij is. Oh my God. And so, it's just...
But what I would say to South Africans living here, learn the language.
Yeah.
Speak the language. I think also expecting people to constantly speak English to you, that's also not fair, you know, if you chose to be here.
Yes.
And I'm sometimes surprised. I'm here 15 months, and then there's people who tell me they've been here 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and it's like,
you know what the problem is? I think it is some people do not cope with languages, right?
Yeah.
I think they have a mental block towards it.
Okay.
But when they have been given the opportunity to express themselves, because they're also extremely shy, because they don't have the knowledge, like the people coming to your school thinking they're stupid, when they're not forced to do it, I think it'll come slowly and easily. When you start forcing people, the mental block gets stronger. and then they just don't
Yeah, but
want to speak the language.
I don't mean to force it, but I'm saying at least try.
Yeah, try it
You
for
know,
sure.
try
Like
it
say
and-
the H makkelijk, you know.
Try it.
Mag ik bestellen? Mag ik rekening? Of you know, you can.
Because also a lot of times, if I'm sitting in the bus, I can hear when South Africans get in because they're only speaking Afrikaans.
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking, especially with children, if you want your child to go to school, they're going to struggle because the Afrikaans sentence structure is so different.
Yeah.
You know, at least try and get them there where they will, you know, fit
My
in
sister's,
better.
my sister's kids are at school, so here's an interesting point. The oldest one, she's 6. She's just done a year of school. She had no knowledge of Dutch, no knowledge of Afrikaans either. She knows English.
Yeah.
And she's just learned to speak it really well. In fact, she's the best speaking one of our family at the moment. My mother spoke Dutch all up until the age of 5.
Okay.
So she had to convert over to Afrikaans, where the Afrikaners were laughing at her for the Dutch way she was speaking.
Yeah.
My sister's youngest son, he's 4, I think, he's turning 4. He's going to start learning it now. But the teachers have said to my sister she can learn through her children the Dutch, but they mustn't stop speaking the English at home.
Yeah.
Because they want them to continue English. When they get into English now, they're going to help the Dutch kids.
Yes.
The Dutch kids are helping them now.
Yeah.
And when it comes to English, then it'll help the Dutch kids to speak English.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you can have that give and take, like I often say to a lot of my Dutch friends, listen, I'm not going to be good at this, but talk to me in Dutch.
Yes.
And then I keep reverting back to English because it gets a bit tricky.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're like, no, man, I want to practice my English. Come, let's talk.
They
And
want
then
to-
I'm like,
they want to-
okay,
they
let's
want to
talk
practice.
English.
They want to practice their English, but I also want to practice my Dutch. And now I also tell people, you know, like, alleen Nederlands.
Yeah.
My boyfriend checks people if he hears them speaking English. Why are they speaking English to you? I don't want you to speak to that person anymore if they're only speaking English to you.
But that I think is also coming from the Dutch have this pride for their language and they don't want to lose it, and you can understand it with all foreigners coming in here.
Yeah. But I
But
think,
also,
like,
you
like
know-
I say, I think if you're choosing to live in a country, not just
Yes.
here, if you
In
choose
Spain,
to live,
in
exactly,
Portugal,
anywhere, make that effort.
exactly, I agree with you,
Make that effort.
100%.
Yeah, make that effort.
And
at
I
least.
am doing that, but I'm also not officially going to a school. I don't have time to make a living and to go and do Dutch. And I have a lot of Dutch people around me, and I'm in Dutch yoga classes, constantly listening, and with my friends where I feel comfortable and safe. But if I'm going to also out and shopping, constantly using the phrases that I know, it's a practice.
Yes,
It's a practice
yes,
and a
yes,
practice and a
yes.
practice. My sister and her husband don't know much Dutch, but they do know Afrikaans slightly. But
Yeah.
they're also learning here every day to learn more Dutch.
But what the Dutch has
and to
done
speak
is
more Dutch.
the Dutch made my Afrikaans really bad.
Yeah,
Because
that
now
is
I'm
it.
confused.
Yes.
You know, Afrikaans was my second language, and I think I was pretty good at it. But now I'm confused because when I'm thinking I'm speaking Afrikaans, then this strange little Dutch word will come
Yes.
through. I'm thinking, shit,
Yeah,
is that
because
the
you're now tuning yourself to say, instead of ek weet, you're saying
Ik weet.
ik weet.
Ik weet. Ja, ik weet het.
Ik weet het. Maakt niet uit. I practice at home sometimes, like, ouch, meter. Ouch, meter.
So yes. But yeah, it's...
But yeah, it's been fun. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to thank you from the deepest part of my heart for being
Thank you for
such an
having me.
amazing South African. That
you.
really, I've been so entertained. The time has flown. We've done it for 1.5 hours now.
Yes.
And now you've got some lekker cook sisters to go home
Yes, I
with.
can't wait.
And you are actually the first one, the
Yes.
first person we are doing from Kalk Bay, South Africa.
From
retreat.
From
Askies.
retreat.
Askies. And that's what they don't know as well.
Oh,
is
and
Askies.
Cork Bay is actually my favorite place.
It is
by
for
the
me
way.
too. I love it.
Walk around there and go shopping. I miss it.
But I also love Musees. Musenberg
Yeah.
for me was so many
But when
beautiful
I
memories.
went home now, I said, you're taking me to Cork Bay?
Yeah.
And then
Kalk,
we went.
Kalk Bay.
Yeah, Cork
Do you know
Bay.
the history of it, eh? The name Kalk comes from lime.
Yes, the
For the
stone.
limestone. Yeah, amazing. I
yeah.
didn't know that before. I did some
Yes,
research when
yes.
we were busy preparing for this.
Yes. No,
But once we're
I'm
live-
going to go back in December, and I'm going immediately to Cork Bay as well.
Lekker.
Yeah.
But
I
and now
totally
you
enjoyed it.
You got? Did you?
Yes,
I'm glad. It
yes.
was a great energy.
It's nice to talk a little bit with South Africans and, you know,
Yes.
just
And
speak about
just
things.
praat, you know,
Yeah,
just praat.
Yeah.
Niet praat,
It's been really fun.
praat.
Ons moet praat, yeah.
Praat.
But thanks so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. Now you're going to a South African chiropractor.
Yes.
Around the
yes.
corner. Net om die
Around
hoek.
Om die hoek hier so.
Checkers.
Like I said, you had knee pain and alles doet pijn here. You wake up in the morning, your back is sore, and I thought, let me just sort this out.
Yeah.
So I used to go to Taalcafe in Utrecht at the library. And one of the ladies from Taalcafe, she told me about this.
Do you want to give her a shout out? Maybe we give her a shout out on this.
Who's this?
The chiropractor you're going to now. What's her name?
It's called the Chiropractic Collab, and she's Dr. Kelly. I'm
Dr.
actually
Kelly.
not sure what her surname is right now. It's out of my head, but she's Dr. Kelly.
No, that's fine. You can
And,
maybe send me on WhatsApp what her details are.
Yeah.
And then underneath, when we post this up, we'll just put her details as well as part of the podcast.
Yes. So she came highly
I want to get
recommended
her
and
on.
I'm happy. Yeah.
Maybe you
I'm
can
gonna tell
talk
her.
her. Yeah, I'll give you a flyer. You
Yes.
talk to her now and see if she's keen. And then I'm sure
Okay.
she'll be
I'll
keen because
do
my
that.
sister said she's got that vibe from
Yes,
South Africa.
yes.
She's a lekker lady.
Yes, she is. Now I will definitely tell her.
Awesome.
All
Lekker,
right.
lekker. Thanks so much, Nathalie, and have an awesome day. And we will be in touch.
Yes, you too. Ciao.
Okay, bye.
Doei.
Sheesh. What a lekker cherry and such a good lach. I honestly felt myself transported to the good old days in SA, at a braai sharing stories. Thank you, Nathalie, for your humorous stories. And as you integrate into the Dutch lifestyle, your good sense of humor and down-to-earth perspective is refreshing and uplifting. And once again, we showcase the Goedspa of South African people. You know, it fascinates me that we witness now the switch around from the past history of the Dutch settlers landing on South African soil. And currently, it is estimated that 41,300 South Africans are living in the Netherlands to date. Which makes me wonder, how many South Africans are living around the world? So out of curiosity, I looked it up. And in 2020, cumulative South African immigrants amounted to roughly 915,000 people, with the majority of immigrants residing in the United Kingdom, plus minus 220,000. In Australia, 206,000. USA has 140,000. New Zealand, 72,000. Canada, 52,000. The Netherlands, 41,300. Israel, 22,300, Germany, 20,380, and Mozambique, 20,200. What's also interesting is that language is the primary driver for immigration when choosing a destination, as it is a factor that helps ease communication and integration for individuals within a new society. And noticeably, the 5 leading destinations for South African immigrants had English as an official language. That's a lot of Yussus podcasts for me to record. But seriously, it is my goal to attract South Africans from all around the world, especially the United Kingdom, USA, and Australia, to record their stories and experiences in their new lifestyles. So if you are in one of these countries, or you know of someone living in these places, please get in touch with us so we can set up a date. On that note, I thank you for watching and listening, as without your support, these pods are not possible. Each view or subscriber is valued and appreciated, and I can't wait to hear from you and share your story. Remember, as Maya Angelou quoted, "There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside of you. Because when the story within you goes untold, you suffer in ways you can't even see, but you can truly and certainly feel. So come on, tell your story." We are Yussus, South Africa's wildest, alive with possibilities.